What's going on, everybody? So in this video, I want to talk about some recruiting news and a major flip from Georgia to the Texas A&M Aggies. Let's talk about it. So the Georgia Bulldogs lost a commit today, a 4-star wide receiver, the 148th ranked player in the 2023 class, Raymond Cottrell, who I've talked about on this channel before. I've known him since he was 11 years old. This guy was committed to Georgia for quite some time. He was actually committed to Florida until the whole Dan Mullen debacle. Wasn't recruiting him with the wide receivers coach. He was recruiting him with some linebackers coach. Well, anyways, he was committed to Georgia for quite some time until today, until about 10 minutes ago. He flipped his commitment from Georgia to Texas A&M, a huge pickup for Texas A&M. And the reason why, because they were falling in the rankings for recruiting. Well, now they have started to gain steam. And they have actually, in the overall rankings, if you add in transfer portal and high school recruiting, they have jumped now the Florida Gators. Florida drops to number 13. Been kind of stagnant. Florida really hasn't done much. It's really in the transfer portal with 3 commits. They're okay, but would like to see more movement from the Florida Gators. It looks like Graham Mertz is going to be the guy. Or it's going to be Jaden Rashada for next year. It doesn't look like any of the transfer guys, especially at the quarterback position, who enter their name. It doesn't look like Florida's going to be landing any of them. Sam Hartman is talked about. He's probably going to be going to Notre Dame. Grayson McCall took his name out of the transfer portal. So I don't see really the Florida Gators adding another quarterback or another high-profile quarterback. So quarterback play is going to be a big question mark, a big question mark next year for the Florida Gators. But, in recruiting, the Florida Gators really, there's been a lot of talk, but nothing going on. Well, there's been teams now that are creeping up on Florida and jumping them. Let's be honest. I've been watching it very closely. And, with Texas A&M, this is a huge commit because this is a blue chip prospect. A top 150 player in the country, and you can land him. That's going to boost your ratings. And, Florida is just, there's 16 teams, the first 16 teams in the rankings. Every single team, except for 2, have landed 5-star recruits, Florida being one of them. So I don't know what it is about Florida not landing really high-profile recruits. I guess, consistently, with Jaden Rashada being the top recruit for the Florida Gators, they say he might become a 5-star, but at this moment in time, he's not. So the Florida Gators really need to step up their recruiting a little bit because other teams are starting to creep up. Now they're starting to pass Florida. Now that you can see Texas A&M has passed Florida. So, Florida needs to actually start having some better news. Yes, they have 23 total commits for high school rankings and transfer rankings. But, Billy Napier is this guy that's supposed to be a great recruiter. Well, I need to see more because I'm not seeing it in these recruiting rankings because teams are starting to jump Florida. It's been kind of aggravating for me because it's like I see a lot of teams starting to pick up players, especially now. You start in January. This is where you need to start adding in more pieces, especially in the transfer portal. Florida has not done that. So, I don't know what the problem is. Maybe the problem is Florida finished in 6 and 7. Texas A&M actually had a worse season than Florida. I don't know. I really can't say it was a 6 and 7 record. How is Texas A&M landing guys? They have 2 5-star recruits in the 2023 class. So, it's kind of aggravating for me to see as a Florida fan. But hopefully they can step it up because teams are starting to creep up on Florida right now. But huge news actually for Texas A&M. It's great news for them. Georgia loses a really good prospect. Listen, like I said, I've known this guy since he was 11. Raymond Cottrell. He is a stud receiver, 6'2", 203. He is a prototypical wide receiver. This guy can be a red zone threat, but he can be a deep play threat as well. His last game of the year, I went and seen him. He had to play quarterback because the starter, who is a 3-star Miami Hurricanes commit, had the flu. So Raymond Cottrell was actually down some players too. He didn't even have his full receivers. He had to take control of the whole offense. He scored a touchdown every drive but one. That dude never played quarterback. But he was actually throwing some nice balls. He's just a pure athlete. Texas A&M got them a good one with this one, with them flipping him from Georgia. So Georgia did lose a big commit. Now, they got some incoming transfers that are actually really good receivers. So Georgia's not going to hurt, but this really does help Texas A&M. For him, I didn't know if I thought he was Georgia all the way. If Florida even had a thought that this guy was going to flip, maybe they would have gave him another shot, maybe tried to talk to him again. I mean, he's a Florida guy. On the thing, it says Milton, Georgia. No, it's Milton, Florida. He is a Florida guy, and he's going all the way to Texas A&M. So another Florida recruit going all the way to Texas for some reason. But, we can't keep these guys in the state of Florida, and that has been aggravating for me. But, hey, guys, as always, I appreciate y'all watching this channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great one.